What if the modern world, your job, your commute, your bills, even global politics, traces back to a single man's blueprint? Not a president, not a king, not a general, but an oil tycoon, a man who didn't just build a company, but quietly designed a system so powerful it still shapes how the world lives, works, and consumes today. His name was John D. Rockefeller. Most people know him as America's first billionaire. Few realize he may have been the architect of modern corporate control. So the mystery is this: did Rockefeller simply win capitalism's game, or did he rewrite the rules that still govern your life? To answer that, we have to return to a time when oil was worthless sludge, and watch how one man turned it into the foundation of global power. Part 1. Origins. The birth of the oil age in the mid-1800s. The world ran on whale oil and coal. Crude oil was mostly useless, until kerosene lamps appeared. Suddenly, oil meant light, and light meant money. In 1863, a young bookkeeper from Ohio entered the refining business. He was quiet, disciplined, obsessive with numbers. John D. Rockefeller. He didn't drill for oil. He refined it. And he understood something others didn't: control the refining, and you control the industry. He built Standard Oil. At first, it was just another company in a chaotic marketplace. But Rockefeller had a strategy no one else saw coming. Part 2. The Rise. Building the machine of control, Rockefeller began buying competitors, not just to grow, but to eliminate uncertainty. He negotiated secret shipping deals with railroads. He undercut prices until rivals collapsed. He acquired pipelines, storage tanks, refineries, everything between the well and the customer. By the 1880s, Standard Oil controlled about 90% of America's oil refining. This was not just business success. This was vertical integration, a structure where one entity controls every step of production and distribution. And here's the twist: that structure became the template for modern corporations. Tech giants controlling hardware, software, and platforms. Retail giants controlling supply chains and logistics. Finance giants controlling money creation and investment. Rockefeller didn't just dominate oil. He invented the corporate architecture of dominance. But immense control invites immense backlash. Part 3. The Breaking Point. When power attracted the law by the early 1900s, Standard Oil's power alarmed the public. Small businesses vanished. Prices were manipulated. Politicians were influenced. Journalist Ida Tarbell published exposes revealing Rockefeller's methods. Public outrage grew. In 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court ordered Standard Oil broken apart. Many believed the Rockefeller empire had fallen. But here's the delayed truth: the breakup didn't destroy the system, it multiplied it. Standard Oil split into companies that became Exxon, Chevron, Mobil, and more, giants that still dominate global energy. Rockefeller lost a monopoly, but gained a network. And the system he designed lived on. Part 4. The Fallout. Oil becomes global power. As automobiles spread, oil became the lifeblood of civilization. Transportation, manufacturing, warfare, all depended on petroleum. The Rockefeller blueprint, vertically integrated corporate control, spread across industries. Meanwhile, his wealth funded institutions, banks, universities, medical research foundations, policy think tanks. Influence now extended beyond business into education, science, and governance. The architecture of modern life, corporate consolidation, lobbying, global supply chains, mirrored the structure he pioneered. The system had outgrown the man. Part 5. Failed fixes. Regulation without replacement. Governments introduced antitrust laws. Regulators monitored corporations. New rules were written. But the fixes addressed behavior, not structure. Corporations simply adapted. Mergers returned. Conglomerates formed. Globalization expanded reach beyond any single government's control. The machine continued, sleeker, smarter, quieter. Part 6. Modern parallels. The pattern repeats today. 3 energy companies influence global fuel markets. 5 tech companies control information flow. A handful of financial institutions manage most global capital. Data is the new oil. Platforms are the new pipelines. Algorithms are the new refineries. And once again, who controls the flow? Controls the world built upon it. Just as Rockefeller turned oil into dependency, modern corporations turn data, attention, and credit into dependence. The pattern repeats with digital precision. Shocking reality. Over 70% of global trade relies on fossil fuels. Over 90% of online information passes through platforms owned by a few corporations. The architecture is identical, only the resource changed. Part 7, 3 takeaways first. Rockefeller's greatest invention wasn't oil wealth, it was the corporate control model. Second, modern monopolies are not accidents. They follow a blueprint over a century old. Third, when one structure dominates production and distribution, society itself becomes dependent on it. Final warning, the open question. If one man's design still shapes global life a century later, what kind of system are today's giants building for the next 100 years? And will we recognize it before it recognizes us? Camera fades to a silhouette of Rockefeller dissolving into modern city lights. Call to action. If you want more stories uncovering the hidden architects of modern power, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share this video with someone who believes history is just dates and names. Because sometimes, the past isn't behind us. It's running the world around us. Fade to black.